You're up. Okay.
All right, I want to welcome everybody to the May 2nd Dunbar City Council meeting. Reverend Colt Ryder, would you give us an invitation?
Holy One, we give you thanks for this spring day, for the gentle breeze and the warmth of the sunshine. We pray your blessing upon our city and its people, our mayor, our council members, our public servants, our first responders, and all those who work diligently to make Dunbar a safe place to live. We ask for your guidance during tonight's meeting as our elected officials seek to make decisions that benefit our community. We pray for wisdom in determining what's best, clarity in decision-making, and hearts that seek the best for every member of our community. Grant us the courage to dream together, pray together, work together to build a community of peace and prosperity, justice and dignity. Amen.
Jenny, would you lead us in the pledge of allegiance, please?
Yes.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Faulkner, will you have the roll call, please?
Yes. Steve Arnott.
Here.
Mike Scipio.
Here.
Doug Fletchman.
Here.
Bobby Yeager.
Here.
Greg Wolf.
Here.
Jim Hughes.
Here.
Sharon Haynes. Here. Glenda. I'm looking at your last name. August. August.
Linda, this is Ron.
Having a quorum present, I now call this meeting to order. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes for the April 18th, 2022 council meeting.
So moved. Second.
Have a motion on the floor to approve the minutes for the April 18th, 2022 council meeting by Greg Wolf, seconded by Bobby Yeager. Any questions, comments, concerns? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Next item on the agenda is the invoices submitted for payment of $94,204.71.
We approved the invoice bill of $94,204.71.
I'll second. We need to approve also. No.
Have a motion on the floor by Mike Scipio, seconded by Linda Vargas to pay the invoices of a total of $94,204.71. Seconded by Linda Vargas. Any comments, questions, or concerns? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Next item on the agenda is the resolution for the school resource officer.
We don't want to put in special duty.
Yeah, you need to approve.
That was when
Like it.
it was 18.
Yep.
I need to have a motion to add an item onto the agenda.
I'll make a motion. Second.
Your second.
Yeah.
Have a motion on the agenda, or a motion on the floor to add an item to the agenda by Bobby Yeager, seconded by Doug Fletchman. If you have questions, comments, or concerns? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Now I'll take a motion to approve the minutes from the April 19th naval levy meeting.
So moved. Second.
Have a motion on the floor to approve the minutes from the April 19th naval levy meeting by Mike Scipio, seconded by Bobby Yeager. Any questions, comments, or concerns? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. The next item on the agenda is the JAG grant resolution 21 through 22, and that's for our school resource officer.
Resolution Be it resolved that the commissions hereby authorize Scott Elliott, mayor of the city of Dunbar, to act on behalf to enter into a contract agreement with the Division of Administration Service, Justice, and Community Service to receive and administrate grant funds for the Justice Assistant Grant Program.
Make a motion we approve it.
Have a motion on the floor by Mike Scipio, seconded by Steve Arden to approve the JAG grant resolution for the 2021-2022 year. Is there any questions, comments, or concerns? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Next item on the agenda is the approval to pay Midway Ford $2,395.39 for car repairs to cruiser number 41. We had it advertised as 43, but it is car number 41.
So moved. Second.
Have a motion on the floor by Doug Fleshman, second by Greg Wolf, to approve the pay Midway Ford $2,395.39 for repairs to car 41. Any questions, comments, or concerns? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Next item on the agenda is the discussion of the state local physical recovery fund, which is the American Rescue Plan. And I'll have the clerk explain what's going on with this.
Yes, Mayor. As we filled out paperwork last week for this American Rescue Plan, we have seen that we have to clarify some issues that's going on. Especially on making our payments for paying our bills. And we'll have two plans. We'll have a reimbursement plan where the sanitary board will pay it, and then we'll pay back the sanitary board what they paid. And the other one is called cash advance. What that cash advance consists of basically is me writing the check, and the mayor and I sign off on it. That's what we call a cash advance plan. So there's two plans, reimbursement and cash plan. We just need y'all's blessings.
We approve this.
Sharon? Although it sounds like it's the same way, if they get bills in at the sanitary board, they've been cutting checks for the items that they've bought prior to everything working. From now on, if there's some items that they'll pay for them, they'll bring us the canceled checks. We keep a good record on everything, and then we take and cut them a check for reimbursement to their fund. If they cannot afford it, which there'll be items that they can't afford, they will bring us the bill. We'll directly cut from the American Rescue Plan straight to the company or whoever is billing us. So I just wanted to clarify that. All right, I have a motion on the floor by Mike Scipio, second by Sharon Haynes to approve the two different plans that we've discussed. Is there any questions, comments, or concerns? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? And we'll do it as a roll call. That way we've got it on record.
Steve Arden.
Yes.
Mike Scipio.
Yes.
Doug Fleshman.
Yes.
Bobby Yeager.
Yes.
Greg Wolf.
Yes.
Jim Haynes.
Yes.
Sharon Haynes. No, Jim Hughes. Sharon Haynes. Linda Bogus.
Yes.
All right. Having all the yeses, we will start with what we've said. Next item on the agenda is the reports from the officers or the committees. Police Chief, would you please?
Busy time of year, I think I say that every time, it seems like it's constantly getting busier. Last council meeting, we had a couple things going on during the council meeting. A lot of drug arrests, a lot of activity on the streets, internally. Things we're working on policies, working on developing a mechanism to enforce the ordinance that you all passed on nuisance houses. We're working on a bunch of stuff like that in-house, preparing for the summer. Checking abandoned houses, like every day we're getting calls to somebody in a house or broke into a house, so we're trying to stay on top of that too. But we're just working towards trying to make things better. Anybody have anything for me?
I got one question. About 3 years ago, when we bought the shotguns, last I heard, they were locked up in the closet. Did they ever meet?
They're assigned to every officer.
Are they mounted or are they in the truck?
The ones that are in the cars are mounted.
Okay.
What I was told, there are some that haven't wanted to carry for some reason, but they've all been issued.
Thank you.
Fire Chief Chris Thornhill.
Evening, Mayor and Council. I'll echo what the police chief said about calls. We're well above 600 now. That's record numbers for us. We're going to have a huge year if the trend continues. And most of that for us has been medical related and fire related. Now, seeing car wrecks and things, you see a lot of fires on that. So we are busy on that. One of the fires I want to bring to your attention, if you don't know, on the backside of Joanne Fabric the other night, we had what I would consider a trash fire that could be homeless related. But we were very lucky. It was actually working its way up the wall, and how it didn't get in that roof on us, I still don't know. Very lucky we didn't lose that structure. So we're keeping a close eye now every time we go through there every morning and check and see. Because they had pallets and things stacked up back there. So we're keeping an eye on that little area because that was a really close call for us. We've been crazy busy over the past couple of weeks with the hiring process, testing. We've had multiple meetings in the evenings and things. Saturday morning in the rain and the 50-degree weather, we finished the physical testing. And we now have candidates in place that the commissioners will be able to provide to the mayor going forward for fill positions. So we've made a lot of progress on that. I know I'm going to get asked about the white truck, and I made 3 calls this morning, left 3 voicemails. Wednesday morning, I'm going to go. So
Let me know when you're going.
I'm tired of, we call them and they give us this hope, this little glimmer of hope that we're getting somewhere, and then nothing. So I've set aside Wednesday to go down there and get some answers. But I came in this morning with the rescue truck. We had to take it back out for the same problem again. It's under warranty, so waiting to hear back from them. It's down, and the new truck has an oil leak that is under warranty. That will go down Thursday to have whatever parts it needs ordered for you. So I came in this morning with 2 trucks with the hoods open. I'm just like, welcome to Monday. All that's in progress of being figured out what's going on and what we need to be done. So other than that, we're good. I'll take anyone's questions you have.
The other trucks we have under construction, have you heard about it actually?
The city truck, no, I have not. Usually what happens, they have different phases, and we go into a design phase. Well, where we duplicated the truck we already had, there's no design phase.
Right.
So the next phase that we'll hit, probably within the next couple of months here, will be an overall approval that the city will have to. They'll send drawings and say, are we good here, final thing before they start building the ball. The actual cabin chassis has not been received by them yet, which that's the part they told us would be about a 1-year delay. Freight runners. So the reason we haven't had any meetings is because we've already done all that thing. But there will be some drawings and some approvals that need to be done in a couple of months.
On that white truck,
Yes.
has anybody checked if we pull that out of their hands and give it to somebody else that will finish it with the insurance, pick it up? Can You
I
check
have not
on that?
checked it. The insurance is already paid the city, so
Oh, they already paid the city, so they don't have anything yet.
They do not. I have not
I
cut
would
them a
go
check.
straight out of that shop and take it to somebody that'll finish
the
it.
issue I ran into is they're the only company out of 5 that came looked at it that would even give us a quote.
But everything's done, you said it's wired, so they told you.
That's what I'm going down Wednesday and find out.
Okay, if it's down to the wiring, I'd take it to Mark Robbins
Right.
and get him to
I'm
finish
gonna
it.
go down and get my eyes and my hands on it and
Okay.
see what we're actually doing.
But please, Mayor, I think you should go with you.
Yes.
Yeah, if it's just down to the wiring, please, I'd pull it out there and take it to Mark Robbins. This is ridiculous.
I'll let, if he doesn't go with me, I'll let him know as soon as I.
Well, I'm going.
We'll get some answers, but we're going to be there and get our own eyes and our own hands on and see what.
Thank you. Yeah, it's.
And I was notified the insurance company probably been dead.
Yes.
So they deal with this outfit and you know what they're up to. This is going on way.
Yeah.
Public Works Director, Donnie.
Only thing I really have is, for the last 2 weeks, we took in 142 tons of garbage for the last 2 weeks. We have started mowing the city-owned lots. We are about done with those, we have 3 or 4 more. Some of them are not yet ready to mow. We just got finished with the tear down phase, so they're not ready to mow yet. I think there's 3 or 4 on that list that we haven't done. A lot of the ones that were out of control, we've already got done. I even had to cut trees to be able to get the lawnmower inside the lot. So a lot of those, ones that were the log cabin and all those, we've already done all those.
That's including the properties that we bought for taxes, so that we kept the grass mowed this summer.
I'm trying to get half on one Friday, and half on another Friday. So far, we've gotten close, since we're so high, it takes us a lot longer to get it on. Sometimes I gotta weed them down and then have to lower everybody over top of it. But we're just about to the point we've got them all done. We have put an ad in the paper that we're accepting applications. I've got 2 responses to that application. I'm going to bring those to the mayor this week and make a decision on those. Anybody knows anybody's looking for a job? I'm doing an application. The way I've been going is I bring them in, do their application, I do the first interview right there in the office. And we'll bring them up to the mayor, do the second interview, try to do this as quickly as possible. So if anybody's looking for a job, they may know that they send down to them. Other than that, if you have any questions, I'll take it.
That's responsible for grass between, ours and grows up on 11th Street, where the doctor's office is.
There, Donnie Burton,
Doctor does.
the doctors, those guys, he's talking about the side of the CVS, more so than the doctors.
Walgreens.
Yeah, Walgreens.
All the way up there.
I'm gonna have Jonathan cut it.
Yeah, I didn't
As
know.
soon as possible.
Don't worry.
They should be cutting both of those places, the doctor's office and Walgreens. I'll send Jonathan out there. He's mowing City Hall and around here anyway.
The doctor's office part of it, they usually keep their.
Yeah,
It's the Walgreens part.
Sidewalk, there's
It's a doctor's office too.
I can like that. Usually the doctor's office. usually-
Doctor's office would love for the city to do it, he paid the city, and he paid the city. He suggests that to me. I make a suggestion to you, I said, okay, I'll pass it on. She said, then charge me for it. Because I guess he has a hard time trying to find somebody to cut it.
And we'll get it cut this week, as long as it's not raining every day. Yeah, it's supposed to be. All right, Matt Dawson, sanitary.
Good evening. Talked to the engineer Friday. They're waiting to award the contractor, contract. So any day we should start seeing dirt in our hotel. So without the first of January. That's pretty much all I have. We'll be running the street sweep with us this week. Any questions that we have?
Did you end up getting the contract?
Orders construction outside.
Orders.
Thank you.
Thank you. Building inspector, you leave.
Mayor, council, citizens, I don't have a whole lot. Been working on the sidewalk out front. Slow going, we get rain every other day. Hoping to get this in poured by Friday, so that we can open it up next week for voting. And then after the election, we'll do the other side. They did all the glass globes down Myers Avenue, or excuse me, Dunbar Avenue today. They got the lights all put together. And the litter control grant that we get every year is coming up. It's open now, so I'm gonna apply for it every other year. Hopefully we'll get $5,000. Still working on some abandoned properties and dealing with firehouses. It's legal issues.
He gets tired of me coming in every day and asking where we stand on that. And I've been in touch with the city attorney about forcing the issue of getting that tore down, those two houses tore down. One on West Virginia, the other one up on Roberts Road.
We're in the circuit court. They were supposed to do it on April 12th. And mortgage company on the mortgage on this one. And some snafu with the owner and house made 24. I just told the other guy, I said, we're not letting that. It's been on for 3 months. And I think that's something we'd like to look at in the future too, is update some of our ordinances on fire damage property. We have 30 days to start demolition or construction or whatever. The insurance has been there and gone. They've got all the photographs they need, and these people just sit on it for whatever reason. And a couple of them. Take any questions?
Parks and Recreation Director, Jesse Madden.
This past Friday, we had our Kids Day at the rec center, and it was a big turnout for it. It was bigger than what I'd expected. And a lot of people here came and helped me. A lot of people showed, they sent their departments. There was a lot of people that's in this room, that's not in this room, that was there. And Donnie was there, but he didn't do anything. Anyway, we had a lot of things going on. We gave away 20 bikes and almost 20 footballs, soccer balls, and basketballs there. We had a DJ there, had inflatables, and we had hot dogs, and also we had Screeno Bacon donate cupcakes and cookies, and we had chips there and drinks, and it was a real big turnout. And I'd like to thank everyone for that. And I had to make some, I've already spent some time making some adjustments for the next year. Because some of the things that we did was that we were grossly outnumbered. And so next year we are going to do some adjustments to make sure that we can compensate for that.
Good time.
Good to hear.
You are, knowledge and sponsors, such as, Butler's.
Yeah. I made announcements there throughout the thing, and our sponsors there was Lester Raines, the Dunbar Boosters, the bingo, they were a big contributor. Also, Dunbar Physical Therapy was, Heiner's CHIP program, some of Frito-Lay was, and I had over 15 vendors. And each vendor that was there had something to give every child. So we had bought bags for the kids, so that whenever they go through it, they have things. And like I said, some of the vendors there, just off the top of my head, was, fall tutoring was there. We had preschool. The Dunbar Police was there. We had Dunbar Eye Associates, Pollution Control, 529 College Savings. All these different things were very child and youth themed to take care of their needs. Plus, trying to promote this way. It was a big turnout, and it's something I hope that we'll be able to continue.
Two people, with that many classes, pretty good.
Yeah, it was, at the beginning, I only brought out 10. Because I didn't know how many people would show, but they just kept coming in. And so then I did like that to bring out those. The count on it was, we did the vendor registration forms. And knowing those, we gave to every child 12 and under. And, excuse me, I have a cold, so I apologize. And that day, we actually had 380 kids actually sign up on the vendor, or on the vendor sheets. But when everyone couldn't get in to the rec center, because we really couldn't get in. I mean, when I say that, it's literal, is that I went outside and a lot of the kids who couldn't come in, they was on the inflatables. And I was trying to count, because I knew that they weren't going to be part of the total. And I was up in the 60s, and I pulled away. So I knew there had to be well over 430 kids there. And so that's not including the parents and the grandparents over there. So there might be easily between 600 and 700 kids, or people rather. But there again, I want to thank everyone for showing up and helping me out, because it was definitely bigger than a one-man show. And so I really appreciate that. And the community needed
I was teasing that we should have moved it all outside. It was so packed in that gym that we should have. But the weather, you don't know what the weather's going to do. So we were talking about for next year, whether to move it to like Shawnee or someplace bigger outside. And I don't know that we could, per se. We may have to run shuttle buses or something to keep the parking lots completely full to handle the overflow. It was that packed.
That would be amazing too if I didn't talk about Charleston Ballet being there and what they did. They did a wonderful job. They really added something special to it. And
Oh, the little groups loved it.
oh, they did. They really did. And so that kind of showed a little different side, maybe some of the things that they hadn't seen before. So I'd like to thank them for Charleston Ballet.
And I know the question's going to come up, when's blacktop start? When we fix some potholes? And I told Donnie to be ready hopefully in about 2 weeks. Now, there's certain alleys that people's asked me about a drain, and did you see it was found?
I was gonna say, thank you.
9 inches deep, but it was found. We're going to be working on the alleys after the paving to try to take some of that gravel out to let the water down into the alley instead of through people's yards. So we knew it was there, well, we didn't know it was there, but we had an idea. Too many people were telling us, and they did. Matt and them did fine. Pretty deep. Way deeper than I thought.
There's a cross pipe that goes along the alleyway that goes out to the main street.
Correct.
And I would like to be able to see if I can tie my downspouts into that pipe and drain my backyard.
That would
I
be.
can talk to somebody later
Yeah.
about that. Okay. I appreciate it.
So, all right. Now's the time for public comments. Does anybody have anything? Jenny?
Your favorite person.
Yeah.
I would like to ask if I have rights. I put up a 6-foot vinyl fence around my house. And that fence gives me privacy and gives my neighbor privacy. My neighbor does not use a weed eater. He lets the weeds grow up around that fence. And I put that fence 6 inches into my property. Do I have the right to go over there and use a weed eater to cut those weeds down? Do I have the right every summer? I use Awesome, and if you've never used Awesome on a vinyl fence, man, you ought to try it. It makes it absolutely sparkling white. Do I have the right to go over there and clean my fence? No.
I would say that you would need permission from the, because 6 inches isn't going to give you enough room to work between the fence and the privacy fence. Yes. But if you wanted to go down through there and cut that, I would say that you would need to have his permission to go on his side of the fence to fit the weed eater down in there. I may be wrong. If you can cut in between the fence and the privacy fence, have at it. As far as, and then, but then you got to get to where you're spraying the Awesome down the side, the privacy fence. I understand, but will it not stain your clothes if it sprays back off of it? So, but you can't clean your fence that same way. If you wanted to use the other side of the fence, you need to ask for permission from the neighbor.
Or try to.
Correct.
But I just want, can I do that? I will get permission from him, see if I can do it.
Sure.
But I know he will not, use a weed eater, so I'm gonna go buy a weed eater so that I can grow there and clean the weeds. Because the greenery that grows up on those vinyl fences, they will also turn your fence green.
Correct.
And so I just ask for permission that I can do that.
Yes.
Done.
All right.
Thank you.
Mr. Spainhour.
Oh.
I hope you guys can hear me, this man. Mr. Mayor, council members, department heads, some of you already know me. My name is Patrick Spanger. I have lived in Dunbar for 31 years while I've helped my wife raise our 2 children. I'm a retired firefighter paramedic supervisor from the city of Charleston. And I have talked to the fire chief here, that's the ones that are out here. I would like to join your community fire department as an engineer operating your firefighters. I would like to do this at minimum wage with workers' comp only when paid out for working fire. Only. I would like this body to also consider dropping the $5 fee for firefighters retirement, which is attached to the city fee for those who join the community fire department and or those who are retired firefighters such as myself who live in Dunbar. I would like also to make it worthwhile for the community firefighter and to attract more firefighters and have a minimum payment of 4 hours when called out, something like the city of Charleston will do. I also believe it would be a benefit to the community for those community firefighters to be under contractual agreement control of the Dunbar Fire Chief. I would like to acquire an application for the position. My credentials and certifications are available for you. Thank you.
All right. Here's what you need to do first. You need to get with the safety committee and get with the safety committee about all these different issues, except for the application. You should be able to pick up an application once the new fire chief to be gets back off of his medical leave next week. But everything needs to go through the emergency safety committee first before we can do anything else.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Sharon Spencer. I'm a retired teacher in Kanawha County, 30 years, and I inherited some Airbnbs here in Dunbar from my late son. I had no idea that this was going to be this much work for me. I found out by way of accident through Amy Goodwin's council member that someone was having, issues with the Airbnbs, that there was riffraff coming into Dunbar. So I'm here to be an advocate and let you know that there's no riffraff. These Airbnbs that I have inherited, I had 4, I'm down to 3. Actually, George Gray was even one of our neighbors on one of them that I sold. But it's not riffraff that comes in. The people that come into the Airbnbs in Dunbar have money. And actually, some of them were kind of famous. My son even had to have one sign a gag order. So it was a famous movie star person that was doing the movie. So there was people coming in, going to Shawnee Park. I get so many families for Shawnee Park. During the pandemic, I was bombarded by doctors and traveling nurses who were at all the hospitals here. So they have money and they're paying anywhere from $300 to $600 a night to stay in Dunbar. That's a lot of money. And they eat here. I am an advocate for the restaurants. I need the brochures from all the restaurants around here, the Mexican restaurant, the Grubhub, I need coupons. But I just want you to know that there's a lot of tax money that comes into Dunbar by way of Airbnb. And I had no idea. We had to call, and I was shocked. I was like, you mean this is what we're paying? So,
Last year.
Yeah, this is last year. So overall, statewide, $16,600 was paid. And the city of Dunbar got.
That's a combination of occupancy tax, which is $6,000, almost $7,000 to Dunbar.
$7,140 to Dunbar.
And then $7,000 to the state of West Virginia that's collected We never touch that money. That comes directly from Airbnb to your accounts and to the state accounts. We don't ever get that money. That goes directly to you guys. So that's $7,000 that we, with our 3 Airbnbs last year, put into the coffers of Dunbar, not including any of the other stuff. I mean, waste, garbage, fire, you know.
Yeah, and our rental fees and things, but I just wanted you to know that don't have such a bad attitude, you know, think about it, educate yourself, because even though you might have gotten a comment, and I think it was on the Dunbar Watch Facebook.
That is not associated with the city of
Right,
Dunbar.
right.
Yeah.
But that was it, and I thought to myself, well, if that's one comment, which was misinformation, that had been going on for 3 years, and this last one, Airbnb only opened in February. And I just want you to know that they're all high security. High security. It's amazing. You can pull it up on your laptop. You can see all the way around the houses. You get a ding on your phone when the people go in. Then they send you a text. They're there. And the communication is very strong. And we also
Is that with everybody's? Is that with everybody's Airbnb? Or is that just your?
That's
ours.
us. I don't
We have-
know.
we
I
have
do
3.
know Charles Rasher has several. I know Charles. But with ours, our security is extreme. It's, you know, we can upload videos to the cloud. We know anything. And I've not had, so I've had them, I guess, a little bit over 2 years now. I've not had any problems. I've not personally had to call the police on anything. But Airbnb's rules are very, very strict, and we are called 5-star superhost. You have to earn excellence with that. So if I can help in any way to educate you on what they really are, I would love to do that, because ours are very nice. It's not chump change. We dumped $100,000 into 8th Street. We dumped $100,000 into Charles, and we just sold the one at Virginia Street. So I think we're here to help Dunbar. My son lived here for 15 years, and I don't want to do anything to his legacy. My job is to keep that going for him. So we will help you. We don't want to be a nuisance. So thank you for listening.
Thank you. Anybody
Thank
else?
you. I wish all of them operated.
Yeah.
Because I do have one on my street, and there
You
have
do?
been several
Thank you.
parties.
Yeah,
Really,
and the ones she's talking
we don't
about,
allow parties. It's in our rules.
it sounds like the ones that are managed well are like y'all's, are an asset to us. But the one that she's talking about,
Yes.
it's been a nightmare. And her neighbor has called me several times.
If you call Airbnb, they will shut it down. They don't allow any kind of parties. And I
Just
can't
go
even
to
have.
another brand. Don't leave Airbnb and just go under another name and do the same thing.
Yeah, there's been some issues, but probably.
Well, I know that you're thinking about changing some rules in the future, like with the parking and the occupancy and things like that. And
We have parking,
yeah, we make sure we
The amount of
follow
cars
the
that are
rules.
proper for the stated amount of sleeping, we have parking on both properties, and then the third one's a little smaller, but they're, you know, we're everything fire code as far as the smoke detectors and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. We've had you look at them, so.
They even took advantage of neighbors' garages.
Yeah, well, we're trying to change, I'm trying to make that carport a garage to help alleviate the noise for the one neighbor that has a problem with it. But if you guys have a problem, no reason you can call us, let us know if there's, you know, an issue.
Yeah, and the
If I try to
noise,
fix it in front and have a problem with it behind.
the noise is if you slam your car door or you push your key lock button, that's noise to that person. We all have to hit our key things to lock our cars. And if you have a single pane window with an air conditioner, old timey one, that's open and the sound goes right through it.
I was commenting about you having a garage door next door to you painted.
Oh.
It is a lot better looking than what it was.
Well, we
paint the rest of the city too.
and we've been told the mailman has said, wow, I wish you'd come on my street and build one. Because, you know, he says they help the neighborhood. And I hope everybody noticed the sunflowers that were painted over on.
That's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah. People have stopped and they're taking their pictures there. I've seen them in the security cameras, they're getting their pictures taken, so. Thank you so much.
Anybody else?
I'd like to say one more thing, is, not to downplay anyone else's role in helping out with Kids Day, but I'd like to say a special thank you to the seniors. The seniors really came to the front for me on this.
They were busy all night.
They were busy, they had hot dogs with homemade chili and homemade slaw, and they worked feverishly, and they were just something else. And I'd like to thank everyone else, but I'd like to say a special thank you to them. I really appreciate it.
All right. Anybody else? Mr. Arden?
Just a couple of things. You want to mention anything about the property on Wall Street? All this?
Not yet.
Okay. Thursday here in the city is, well, it's all of the nation's National Day of Prayer. Started back, it's been going since our country was formed, but officially it started back in the Truman administration, and it's recognized everywhere. Thursday at noon, this is Dunbar City Plaza, but because of the construction, they're probably a little closer to the library, is that right? And there'll be a number of people offering prayers and speakers to recognize National Day of Prayer. So that's anyway, like,
Go ahead.
Yeah, I got 2 or 3 things here. Number one, when the state came in and did that work out, Dunbar Avenue, put in a new sidewalk, like,
I don't know where this is going.
yeah. The curb at 16 in Dunbar is about 2 feet high.
We've already talked about that.
We need to go down there, cut that out. I mean, people can't come across.
The ambulance authority was, we were looking at it, the ambulance authority is supposed to be coming through here soon, and we'll replace the ambulance.
We've been there 3 years ago.
That's closer than you think.
We can't wait 2 more years.
We have a way of cutting that down and making those wheelchair accessible ramps, it's gotta be all replaced. The side coming off of the railroad tracks where the sidewalk is, does not have wheelchair access. Maybe we can contact the company back.
Crosswalk there?
Not an official crosswalk.
So can I ask a question about ambulance coming down the streets and things, access? We just all got a ticket on 500 block of 21st Street. An ambulance could get down on our street if it had to now, because they make us all park on the street. And we're all in an upgrade.
It's here to be.
Yeah.
I paid for that parking pad, $4,000, and they're giving me a ticket for parking on my parking
In the
pad.
wrong direction.
And in the wrong direction. And if an ambulance comes, somebody's screwed.
I mean,
We'll check into that.
what just now?
You have a parking pad off of the roadway?
Yes.
There's
And
a
we had to get a
sidewalk.
parking permit to get it.
I mean, it can't be a sidewalk because there's telephone poles there. You can't get down through there. There's a telephone pole.
Everybody got a ticket, they're all on the street standing waiting for the police. We called them multiple times, it took them forever to get there, we measured the distance. A vehicle could get down if they wanted to, because we're all parked out on the street now.
We'll look at it.
And it's also, I mean, the wrong direction. I mean, it's safer sometimes for park.
It's never safer to park the wrong direction, because you're
Well,
pulling out and going.
I just like to know, is the city gonna take care of our cars when they get here? Because they are gonna get
We'll
here.
have to look at it. So
Okay, so what about with these tickets?
Hold on,
Hang
until we
on just a minute, no, I don't know anything about it.
Okay, because I feel like this is repercussion.
I don't know what's going on, but they'll be looked into.
Anyway, we need to get that curb cut out. You know,
I agree, and the first thing I saw was that, and I asked about it.
it's not state highway, state highway, right?
But it goes all the way to 23rd.
Does?
24th.
No, it goes all the way to the end of the, somewhere else.
Oh, really? Down the
All the way to
So that's state road.
Yes.
Yeah, I asked them for a half
On
mile.
Dunbar.
It was all on 16th Street.
I know it's what you always get told.
I don't know when it was happening, but it is in the tax, or the road maps.
There's a lot of money, and we have a lot of people come across the tracks, across 16th Street right there. They can't.
They do. That's what, that one side to me, side
Yeah.
across.
Well,
Now, DOH has some odd rules about how they'll do crosswalks. They don't like to put a crosswalk on the road that doesn't have a traffic signal. Not just a stop sign, but a signal. And that's one of their sticking points. That's why if you look out here at 10th Street and Dunbar Avenue, there's only one crossing there to get across. There's not even a crosswalk across 10th Street. Okay? I went round and round with the engineers about it because we needed some crosswalks in there and they wouldn't do it because they're not signal. We can look at what we can do to alleviate that problem, but it is a state road all the way down to the school. And if they tell us no, then we're kind of end up. But we can look at it and see.
I mean, you know, the fact is, we have a lot of people come across the road.
Really?
Bicycles, maybe carrying, whatever. It's not getting hurt walk. Don't take too much about it. Everybody gets it. Anyway. City Park. Before we start patching holes in the streets, I think what we need to do is take a truckload of blacktop, a couple guys up there, get a big parking lot, fix it. I mean, I was up there last week, I drove my car and everything else, it's ridiculous, so.
The main parking.
No, the big parking lot at the old pool. We need, yeah, fix it. Summertime.
It actually needs to be paid.
Well, yeah, but I mean, we at least need to fix it home right now. I mean, it's just out that field right now.
That is from all the wear and tear of heavy equipment and
Oh, I
stuff on
understand
there.
what it is.
It really needs bulldozed, regraded, and repainted.
But we need to patch it right now until we get to that point. Right now, you can't drive across without dragging. Several things. And last, wine cellar park, we need to go ahead and get bid on the fencing out there at the wine cellars themselves. Keep people out of there. We've discussed it on numerous occasions. Nothing ever been done. We need to get that secured. Somebody will get hurt out there.
We've already had the bids on it. $9,000 and some.
Approved it, approved for $9,000. We are approved on council floor. He was just waiting to get an okay from the state. Well, we already approved prices and stuff.
We don't. I should say, the historical society is not going to cover our loss. If somebody gets hurt out there, they're not going to be there to take care of it. We need to take care of it. We need to get that taken care of.
I don't think nobody can make us tear it down, let's put it that way.
Call everybody and tell them to get down there.
We need to really put some doors on. Invest in door doors.
Michael Woodward.
But doors would be nice, but at least we keep people from getting in there and build fires and building structure. So,
That's on the historic registry. I would strongly suggest we get approved.
what are they gonna do? Put down there, tear it down?
They will.
Then so they get hurt, are they gonna be responsible?
I don't know about that, but they will tear it down.
The caretakers should be running out.
Take a chance. Take a chance.
Doug,
I have nothing, sir.
Bobby.
Talk about grass.
Well, that's why I didn't want you to.
I
See, you leave it to me.
I've been on that this morning. The weather last week was bad, and I believe our gentleman,
Right, next week.
yeah, and I believe our gentleman's having an issue with keeping employees, so I don't see it's gonna happen very much longer. I've done the phone with him today.
Are we informed you want to see Scary Creek still wants it?
I've got to call in Scary Creek just in case.
Scary Creek.
No, yeah, Scary Creek has it.
Oh, okay.
Scary Creek has it, the other company.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I already contacted you, just have them on standby. All right,
Have nothing, sir.
great.
I just want to thank everybody for tuning and speak to their Airbnbs. They do run a tight ship and a lot of cameras. All our department heads, especially the chief, I'm on the radio most of the day, and the guys are stopping people left and right, investigating things. they are at it all day.
Jim?
Same thing what Greg said, everybody doing a wonderful job. Friday night was, again, it was a blowout, just like every time we do something anymore, it's getting better and better and better. Because everybody's working together and making things happen, and that's what it's taking. The city's getting cleaner, things are getting better. This Saturday is the Neighborhood Watch Safe Community, fundraiser over at Kroger's. We have hot dogs and Angus burgers. This is to raise money for our National Night Out and our police and fire camp in July. So I'd like for anybody who want to come over and get a nice hamburger, hot dog, come over to Kroger's between 10:30 and 2. We get us sponsored by the Neighborhood Watch the Safe Community.
Sharon? Linda? We'll talk to you here in just a second. But I want to find out what's going on myself.
I'd like for you to find out.
But overall, the last 2 weeks, we've been extremely busy. As you can see out here in front of City Hall, we're going to have a Ladder Street, new ADA guideline sidewalks. You and the Public Works Department's been working hard on that. If you all know anybody that's needing a job, I'm looking for one, at least maybe two for the rec center, and 4 to 5 for the Public Works Department. They're going to be out here all summer long. So I need people to paint curbs. I need people to pour concrete, put blacktop down, and all kinds of stuff. So they're going to be busy, and they'll be 40 hours a week, if not more. We have 4 houses on the radar right now that's possibly going to be worked out to where we can have those tore down here soon too. So the more I get piled on, and those guys are getting the doll from right there. That being said,
Mr. Mayor, we'll go to the order. If there's no other city business, I move we adjourn this meeting.
second.